set up. Hi, how you going? And my name is Thomas Miller from Transition Foundation. And Simon and Martina have set up a store with Open Bazaar. Now, if you don't know what Open Bazaar is, it's basically think of a giant decentralized eBay. So think of eBay mixed with BitTorrent. So all the stores are sort of hosted on everyone's computers that is accessing the network, which is really cool. And there's no fees, which is really cool, unless there's a moderator needs to step in. And it's kind of like probably going to be in 2016 a really big deal for people who are starting to do e-commerce on the internet, and especially for the poorer countries who don't have access to industrial banking. They can go and create a Bitcoin account for free. It's going to open up new trade for the whole world. So really beautiful thing. So Simon and Martina, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Yeah, I really want to say thank you very much for agreeing to do this interview, because as we know it, Open Bazaar is still very new. It's got a lot of sway, and there's people that are setting up stores now because it is live, but there is a bit of a technical process at the moment for some people until we get some services and make it easier for people. But yeah, what's your experience of Open Bazaar, and how did you get started with Open Bazaar?
Basically, my experience with Open Bazaar so far has been a really positive and good one. I've actually made 3 sales to date, so that's been fantastic. And
so
as you mentioned,
how many sales have you made?
3 sales now.
3 sales. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. And the best feeling about that is no fees, which is, it just feels amazing to be able to sell an item and get all of the money. And the second best part about that, you're actually getting paid in Bitcoin. I mean, I'm a big believer in Bitcoin and believe in the future it's going to be worth more money, has more value to it. So in a way, when we're selling now for Bitcoin, we could be actually getting paid a lot more for the item. So it's really quick, really easy to use, and it's just been absolutely fantastic.
So that's really cool. And Martina, in fact, we'll cross over to Martina in a second. I just want to ask you, Simon, so you've got an eBay, you both have eBay stores right now, don't you?
Yeah.
And so you're eBay people that are crossing over to decentralized eBay. And what's your reason for doing that?
Well, in general, we were, especially last like 1 or 2 years, eBay was just getting absolutely horrible in so many spheres that when we heard about the new place being open, decentralized, Open Bazaar, we were really, really excited about the whole thing. We basically couldn't even wait, and I think quite a lot of people who actually heard about Open Bazaar could not wait to cross over. Well, we still haven't really crossed over because, yeah, Open Bazaar is just a new place and we're just all learning how to use it. But yes, I think slowly, maybe over the year, we'll probably just stop selling anywhere else.
That's the ultimate goal, definitely, to be free of eBay and its rules and its fees and everything.
How they treat sellers, how everything's so complicated, and even the system's not even working anymore. So another beauty of Open Bazaar is the fact that we're in control. We have full control of how we list the item, the pictures we take, everything. And actually, sorry for jumping, but yeah, we can see that there behind it are people who really care and who really are helpful, who are there almost all the time to help you solve any issue, because there's still a lot of issues, but they're there, whereas on eBay customer service,
non-existent,
no help
really
at all.
Helpful.
So.
But that's a good point you brought up. The Open Bazaar team and all the supporters have been amazingly helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime we've setting up a store, which can be quite tricky to do for the first time, especially if you're not used to, say, Linux and VPS, and there's always somebody there to help, and they'll make sure you get your store up and running, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, Simon, would you like to cross over and do a screen share on your store and just sort of show people, what you've done with your store?
Absolutely. I'd love to do that.
Store.
Yes, I'm just on Martina's girlfriend's computer at the moment.
So maybe
I'm not
I
sure.
need to share the.
I think we're better if we just do Martina's store then, because you've got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that they'll keep it simple for now, because
Uh-huh.
we're all still very yeah.
Is it all right now?
Yeah, Martina, would you like to tell us what your store's on?
So my store, named OpenBazaar, it's I'm going for specialization in the toys at the moment, at least. And for now, I'm just selling a couple collectible little batch of figures there, which I'm gonna be like adding every day as soon as I've got more time to. So I suppose you can see a few of my listings there.
Yep.
They're very popular toys.
Yeah, they're very popular at the moment. Children toys bound to make happy any girl, so that's why I chose this, and plus I've got a large stock of them. And I must say, Open Bazaar and listing these beds, let's see, this one has been very easy, much easier than what I was used to before, with eBay, for example.
But that's another absolute beauty of Open Bazaar. The listing process is much more simple and user friendly than it is on other popular places like Amazon and eBay.
It's all on one page. Edit. You can clone the listing, delete the listing directly. You can see every information you need. Yeah, it's all just one page. It's so easy to use. Yeah, I love it so far.
Absolutely.
And how long have you had your store up there, Martina?
I think it will be about 3 weeks maybe now, or
Yeah, maybe a month.
more.
Yep.
And my store was just a little bit sooner, probably just 2 weeks sooner.
2
But
weeks.
maybe longer. I must admit the time has flown, to be honest. And we've just learning about Open Bazaar and putting the listings on. And yeah, the days have been flying by.
We could actually look at your store by just typing in the handle at the top, couldn't we?
Correct. That's another good aspect of Open Bazaar. Even easier, what we found, we've got the chat messaging down the right-hand side.
Yep.
And an added bonus of the chat, you can, this is what I do myself, you can actually use it as a quick link to somebody's store. As Martina just demonstrated there, she clicked on my avatar and it took me directly to my store.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And you can even see my store up there, Bazaar Hosting.
Exactly.
Exactly, absolutely, as you were just saying there. Click the avatar and boom, simple as that. Fantastic and so quick. So quick, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us, talk us through a little bit more about your store and you know, and how the sales have come through and what you can expect in the future based on what's happened so far?
Absolutely. Well, originally I planned the store just for vintage clothing. Me and Martina have got a big background in design and vintage clothing, and it's something that we specialize in. And hopefully my store will be online now. Yes, there might be a slight problem. As I mentioned earlier, Martina's store has been working absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, let's go back to Martina's. Do you want to go back to your screen? Let's just, go back to your faces.
Absolutely. And for the time being, my store seems to have some connection problem that we can't quite figure out. I'm not sure why. We've had a lot of help from the Open Bazaar staff, especially Dr. Washoe. He's been excellent. And there's just some little glitch on my end, I think, that's causing the connection issue. But I'm sure it'll be resolved quite soon.
Yeah, it's just a hosting issue. It's not a big issue.
Exactly.
I mean, I've set up about 15 stores now, and you know, every server can be a little bit different sometimes, or you know, depending on what server company you're using, and so there's just different rules, or different ports are open or closed, but that's what a hosting company take care of all those issues normally.
Exactly.
It's interesting. So yeah, I'm going to go back to, I had a bunch of questions to ask you, so I'm going to see what I've asked you, what I haven't asked you. When I can find it, here it is. Oh, where are you from and what is your background? So basically, you're both
Both living in Slovakia at the moment, but we're a mixed couple. So
I'm originally from the UK,
yep.
and I moved here about 3 years ago. And the background I have has always been in buying and selling, basically. Like I said previously with eBay, I've probably been selling on eBay for nearly 10 years. And I've bought and sold virtually everything you can think of. And my knowledge is quite broad, I must admit. No, yes, exactly. But yeah, the knowledge is broad, and yeah, I'm just going to bring over the same items to my Open Bazaar store. Originally, I wanted it just for the fashion side, but now the way I've seen how easy it is to use, I'm going to have it as a bazaar, so it'll host many different items and give people lots of variation in the goods that I sell.
Cool. All right. So the next question, I've asked you already what attracts you to Open Bazaar, and we've spoken about your stores. So the next question is, what do you see possible with Open Bazaar and your store or your stores in the future? Like what do you see?
Martina? It's quite
well,
a good question.
I don't know what I see, but I hope that it will grow big.
Yep.
I would like to work on it, and I can see it getting big when it comes to like the amount of customers, and people will start to use it more. So I really hope our both businesses will grow.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we can make an independent living of it,
and
for example.
The goal is to have Open Bazaar as the main income. You know, Open Bazaar creating more sales than any other platforms on the internet right now, like compared to Etsy, you know, Amazon and eBay. And I believe the way Open Bazaar has started, that's very likely to happen, maybe within 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, I definitely see that trend happening. I've been, part of the Open Bazaar and, in the chat for about a year now. And, I've been beta testing, like 10 months ago, and things like that. And what I see is that, when a database gets big enough, like, Google has a database, and that database is huge, and it's so big, it becomes useful to people, and they want to search. And another great example is the Facebook database. When that database gets big enough, we use it. We start going to it because there's information there that we want to search. And same with Amazon, or same with eBay. When the eBay database gets big enough, or Alibaba, we start using it. I can see the same pattern happening with Open Bazaar. But the cool thing, this database might be the biggest database of physical and of all products in the whole world because it's free to list.
Absolutely.
So,
and customers will certainly be going to where they can find the best deals. And because Open Bazaar has the no-fee structure, therefore sellers like ourselves can offer prices at a much lower rate than what we do on other platforms.
It's almost 20% off cheaper. You can list items, therefore it's cheaper for customers, for people who shop.
Especially our prices in our store are a good 20% cheaper than you'll find anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited by that. And the other cool thing is that it's crazy, but eBay, they charge 10% of your sale price.
Correct, and in my category, clothing, it's even more. I'm sure it's 12% we get charged.
Oh, no, well, we're doing this expense sheet for every month in our sales, so we know how much we're earning, and it almost works out up to 20%, to be honest, if you include all the PayPal fees, listing fee, fee from the sale, fee from the postage.
The postage fee was absolutely scandalous what eBay introduced. Now they take the percentage also of the postage, where in the past they'll just take a percentage of the sale.
Yeah.
I mean, it's criminal. It really is.
It really is, yeah.
Whereas Open Bazaar, it's just it's free and it's so much easier and enjoyable. That's the other beauty of Open Bazaar. We both agreed it's an absolute pleasure to actually sell items there. Whereas eBay can feel like somebody's got a gun to my head to list. Open Bazaar just feels like, the best thing to happen in a long time, we have to say. in e-commerce. Correct. Yes, when listed.
It's so nice to create a listing so easy. But yeah, you just have to try it.
Absolutely.
Know what we're talking about, but it is really easy to list actually. And yeah.
So what would you say to somebody who's just starting out and wanting to list or start selling on Open Bazaar? Where would you say is the best way to start doing it?
From our experience, I'd recommend somebody just have the one store at first, and then they can host it at home on their own internet service provider. And then basically they can get to grips with the basics and the listing, how it's structured and everything. And then they can find the help if required before they take the next step to VPS and having the store on 24/7, basically. So if you host it yourself at home, when you turn off your client, the Open Bazaar program, therefore your store will be offline. That's why people need the VPS, so the store is online 24/7.
So for those people who don't know what a VPS means, that's a virtual private server. It's basically just a computer that's online all the time. So when the internet came about and people started putting up websites, we actually used to host them on our own computers, and our computer had to be online 24/7. And then people got a bit sick of holding their computers, having them online all the time, and sometimes they weren't fast enough on fast enough connections, so the site wasn't loading. So we invented this idea called hosting companies, where it's just a computer or a server that's online 24/7, and it hosts your websites for you so that you can turn your computer off whenever you like. And the same phenomenon is happening in the Open Bazaar space. You know, Open Bazaar is a whole new decentralized internet. And at the moment, the way you host a store is you actually host it on your own computer. But if you don't want your computer on all the time, then you can actually host the store on a hosting company. And that's what we do with Transition Foundation, and it's just the next part. I mean, we're only just moving into sharing, telling people about hosting.
Absolutely.
But I think one of the first steps also is that people need to go and buy a product, go and try it.
Correct. Yeah, and just experience the whole decentralized shopping experience and the free trade. I mean, once, like I mentioned previously about the Bitcoin and the wallet for the phone, and in the past I'd never tried using an actual app on the mobile phone, and it was Open Bazaar that introduced me to Mycelium app. And now I use that to buy items on Open Bazaar. And it's eye-opening. It's amazing just how easy it is. Within a few clicks, you've bought the item. It could not be any more simple, really.
That's it. But that's the beauty, is the simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
If you basically have all set up, you have got the person who is providing the domain, hosting your store.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything rest is so easy. It's like, for me, okay, I haven't been maybe setting it up because I'm not very technical. But yeah, you were helping and people helped you. But
Exactly.
Other than that, now for me, it's so easy. It's easy to list, it's easy to pay for items, and it's easy to receive the payments, even easier. So, yeah.
It's very exciting and such early days still. Well, I think
really early days.
Yeah, really, I think we need to stress to the listeners that it is very early days for Open Bazaar, and there will be a time when the Open Bazaar will have an app for your phone, and it will be, it's just not there yet, but it will be.
And that's why I'd really recommend to people to try and get started as soon as possible with a store, because you can build up the trust and reputation. And I think that will have a big impact when it comes to sales when Open Bazaar is more widely known. That's one of the other reasons why we're getting in early, and we're able to deal with any issues that arise. We just work through them to get our store just a solid foundation and well known.
That's what we're doing here at Transition Foundation as well.
Absolutely.
It's just the way. It's a smart way.
And build up the feedback and the reviews.
Yeah, get good reviews, and you get more time to get good reviews and sell more products.
Exactly. And you'll find that the people here at the start, they're really loyal supporters, and they also know a lot about Open Bazaar and how it works. So also getting in early helps you to make connections and contacts with these people.
That's it.
That makes the whole process even easier and more enjoyable.
So I wanted to ask another question, and it's the final question on the sheet actually. What do your friends think about you selling in Bitcoin? Some people freak out about Bitcoin. For me personally, I can't be more happier with Bitcoin. I love earning Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
But what's your experience with Bitcoin? Or
I think still a lot of people surprisingly doesn't understand the whole Bitcoin, the whole virtual currency thing. But yeah, digital currency. But in general, they're more, I would say, interested in getting to know about it. And when they hear it's so easy, then yeah, they're more interested. But then I think the biggest issue at the moment is the safety. A lot of people are afraid of if it's secure and such. But I think it's getting better and better, and yeah, the apps are being developed. So
that's the problem for most people. They tend to be worried or freak out when they wonder how to buy Bitcoin. A lot of people, for some reason, tend to believe it's a lot more difficult than it actually is. You can buy Bitcoin within 10 minutes these days.
yeah.
In the UK, there's a site that I use often, BitBargain, and you sign up, you log in, you see many offers, and then you can pay by your bank account, and within 10 minutes, you can have the Bitcoin there. And then once you have the Bitcoin on the site, you just send it to a wallet, let it be on your computer or on the mobile phone. It's very easy. And there's been a lot more good news about Bitcoin recently. In the past, it was all dark markets and scams and such. But now people are realizing a lot of that was maybe just scaremongering, because obviously the banks are very worried about Bitcoin, and they're probably trying to do the best to shut it down. But as time goes on, Bitcoin's powerful, decentralized, and it looks like it's going to be here to stay, which hopefully we couldn't ask more for.
Well, it's been around for 6 years, or 5 or 6 years now, so.
Correct, and it just seems to be going stronger.
Yeah, it's just increased today, I think, by 7%. In the last
it's going nicely.
About 12% or something, I think.
Yeah, broke the $500 mark there. And yeah, it could see new all-time highs within a year.
Yeah.
Which would be very nice, because all our payments from OpenBazaar is just being saved. So any payments we get now, we're just keeping for when we need them later on in years to come.
It's a really interesting experience, because I mean, I've had Bitcoin for a while, and every time I go to the shop, my Bitcoin can purchase more milk. More milk. I could get 2 cartons now with the same amount of Bitcoin, and it's a really, really strange experience. Because I'm used to going to the shop here in Australia, and when I was a kid, milk used to cost like $1.50, and then now I go to the shop and buy milk, and it's $5. It's
wow.
It's just you have this experience over the years of the money not actually buying as much, whereas my experience with Bitcoin so far since 2013 actually has been that the same amount of Bitcoin is buying me 2 loaves of bread. So I love that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way it's probably going to stay. You can see Bitcoin just increasing in value, because there's still a huge percentage of the world's population that don't know about Bitcoin.
That's it.
And as you mentioned before, the third world countries and such, the poorer countries that are not in the banking system or don't have bank accounts, once they know about Bitcoin and educated and find how easy it is to send and receive money, it can just grow Bitcoin. It really can. And who knows how high it could be worth in the future. It could be $1,000, $10,000 per coin within 5 years or more.
Yeah,
so it's really exciting times.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. All right,
Absolutely.
well, I just really want to thank you guys for your time and being bold and jumping on here and just sort of.
You're welcome. I hope it wasn't too bad. We're brand new to Google Hangouts, so hopefully you'll have us on again sometime in the future.
we'd love to have you on again and to share your experience and how your store is developing, and you know, just a little bit, just show that, you know, we are a community of Open Bazaar, you know, buyers and sellers. And
absolutely, and non-technical people like ourselves who are having success. You know, you don't need to be technical to have success on Open Bazaar, and there is the help there, and it's very easy.
So yeah, I mean, my experience is that if you need help with Open Bazaar, just reach out on one of the forums or just talk to somebody, and it is amazing how you will get help.
Absolutely, I'd highly recommend the Slack chat, the Slack channel for Open Bazaar. That's been absolutely amazing experience.
All right, cool. Well, cheers, guys, and
thanks very much.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely be coming back to hear more success.
Absolutely.